Dear student, today we have teaching English as a foreign or second language. We have the first chapter dealing with the self-developed language teacher, dealing with the two questions. Does self-development make a difference? What factors are central to teacher self-development? In order to answer these questions, we should read chapter number 1. We have the first question: does self-development make a difference? So we have two classes. The first is the classroom of a teacher, Yoshi, who has not had opportunity to work on the development of the teaching, and we have the second is that of a teacher, Cathy, who has taken on the responsibility for her own development. If you go to the Yoshi class, you will find that he graduated from geography. Okay, then he teach his students how to make language as a second language as a job. He find a job to teach English of two groups, business people, for 90 minutes. Okay, if you go to the Yoshi in his class, this is the description. Let's take a look inside of his classes. We will find that he has lockstep fashion. He begins by telling the student to open their books. After that, Yoshi reads the introductory paragraphs aloud. He asks the student if they have any questions. So, if you know that Yoshi, he used the traditional way. He is standing in the middle of the class and make the student to read the passage. After that, he will place the tape recording about how to read the text. Then the Yoshi read the questions about this, what the reading about, related to the reading. Next, Yoshi turned to a reading activity. After that, he asked the student to read aloud. After each student reads, Yoshi paraphrases the meaning and explains the vocabulary word for them, if there's any, because the reading English text need to make explaining of the different or difficult word. Already he asked them to use bilingual dictionaries. Yoshi expands on his of the answers of the question. Then he translates, offering them because of the student are Japanese, so offering them to translate. After that, Yoshi reflects on his class. In this page 5, we will find the summary of what he has do. We will find that he breaks the reading, and he has a formal step inside the classroom. And when the student have few opportunities to read or to speak in English, so because he graduated from geography degree, he is not prepared for him to be a language teacher. So he teaches the student English language, but he is not prepared well to teach them English language. He considered the idea. After that, he guessed and conclude that when he wants to teach English classes, he considers the idea of going to the bookstore to look for books on teaching English. If you go to the second class, about the Cathy class. Cathy class is also graduated from history department. but she teaches her student on the fourth year English department. They are advanced learner, so they seem to enjoy in Cathy lesson, which usually combine the listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So we have 4 skills. Cathy has to teach her students to combine between these 4 skills. Cathy raced to the classroom 5 minutes early to put picture on the wall of people using various gestures and to put this message on the board. Study the pictures on the wall. What do you think gestures mean? Feel free to speak with your neighbor, but be sure to speak in English. This is a very important phrase. She has come to the class. Cathy come to class earlier before the student come and write this on the picture on the blackboard or whiteboard. Why she did that? Why she come to earlier to the classroom and put the pictures on the wall? She did this for 2 reasons. So we have reasons. She has reasons to come earlier and to put these pictures and using various gestures. We have 2 reasons. The first one, she is bothered by how long it usually takes to begin the class. Number 2, she wants to explore how she can get students to speak English spontaneously with each other. So she wants to let her students to speak English at the same times with their colleagues or with their classmates. Okay, if you go to the other page, you will find the objective. On Cathy objective on this day is to see if the student will silently read the message on the blackboard and study the picture and start to talk in English. This is the main aim in her class. She writes the phrase on the blackboard and let her student to read the phrase in order to study and look at the pictures and try to speak on English only. In English only. Okay. After a few of students are using English, but others continue to use Hungarian because the students are from Hungary, so they want to speak their mother language. Cathy gets their attention and point to the picture they are put it on the blackboard. Cathy turned her classroom with using non-verbal behavior. What is non-verbal behavior? Non-verbal behavior, it means that we have example like eye contact, gestures, and use of space, as well as different ways to express meaning in different cultures. Then after a few minutes, she finds her classroom, or Cathy also notes that the students are speaking more than the usual of amount of they are using of mother tongue. So she notes that their English language, their errors, and how to correct them. Okay, here we have at the end of this subject about Cathy's class. As Cathy walks out of a classroom, she has mixed feeling about the lesson. Her exploration with the message and the pictures seem somewhat successfully. She starts to the class quickly, first of all, and some of the students use English. She also concerned that she does not give them the feedback on their language. Perhaps perhaps if I give them more feedback, they would want to use more English. This is what we have telling by Cathy. Okay, if we give the comparison between Yoshi's and Cathy's teaching, so we have the differences between two classes. Here we have in Cathy we have different points we should deal with. The first one is the style of teaching, and we have the other four factors. We have the difference between them. Here we have the differences between Yoshi and Cathy's style of teaching from the different point of view of style of teaching. Yoshi goes through his lesson in more or less lockstep fashion. He only studied without moving